Hello everyone, Conductor123 here, and welcome to the Ruins of Ronthmor. Ruins of Ronthmor. It took me more than a year to make, and I want to share it with you because I think it's pretty cool. If you don't know what it is my clone of TangoTek's Decked Out 2 from Season 9 of HermitCraft. First of all, Ruins of Ronthmor is designed to be played in 1.20.2. It may work on other versions, but it is untested and not guaranteed to work. To play Ruins of Ronthmor in single player, you just need to download the map from the link below along with the resource pack. If you don't know how to play with the map and resource pack after downloading it, two links are in the description below for both tutorials. Once you've downloaded that, I recommend moving outside of the game in creative mode, but playing Ruins of Ronthmor in survival mode. If you are playing in multiplayer, you need a game host. If you are the game host, you are welcome to play, but you will also be responsible for some basic maintenance for the game and any events you might want to have, as well as giving players some starter items if you want. If you are just hosting the game, I recommend watching the tutorial on how to play the game, but you can skip to the timestamp on screen to quickly go over how to host the game. If you are playing the game, first make sure that the Ruins of Ronthmor resource pack is turned on. Then join the world. You will spawn about here. Don't mess with the chest. Instead, head to the jungle ruins. Step on these pressure plates and go down the stairs. You will enter a giant lobby for the game. There should be about 20 boxes, one for each player. Claim a box with your player head or with a sign. You should have a shulker box and a chest. In the chest, you will find 8 dungeon keys, unless your game host has changed the number of keys you start with. The shulker box will be your deck of cards. It shouldn't have any cards unless your host has given you some starter cards. When you are going to play the game, make sure that your simulation distance is set to at least 12. Otherwise, the game may not function. Again, make sure your simulation distance is set to at least 12. Otherwise, the game may not function. If you are playing the game without any cards, simply take a dungeon key to the start area. If you are playing the game with cards, take your shulker box and dungeon key with you to the start area. The start area is on the opposite side of these stairs, so if you just run over here, you can find the start area. When the light underneath the sign says available to play, you may put your key in this barrel. The door will open, go through the door, and set your spawn point at the bed. Turn around, take off any gear that you might have, and put it in one of these chests. If your deck contains no cards, then place it in the chest just like the rest of your inventory. If it does have cards, carry it into the next room. Before you select your difficulty, if you have cards, place your cards in this box, just like so. Just like so. If it does pop out just like it did, then just place it in again. That's the first time that's happened to me. It's pretty rare. Then you may choose your difficulty. The only difficulty available right now is easy mode. If you are playing the game without any cards, select cardless run. This will turn that piston on, but it's fine. Everything's fine as long as you pressed the button. Then you can click easy mode. You will have to wait a second for the minecart to spawn. If the minecart doesn't spawn for about 40 seconds, press the difficulty button again. But the minecart already spawned for us. As soon as the minecart spawns, you may get in the minecart and press the black button to start the game. A map and compass will fall from the ceiling. You may put the map in your offhand, or you may not use the map if you don't want to. You will need the compass to play the game. Walk through this door, and it'll close. You should not be able to get back into that area. Now that you have entered the dungeon, there are some rules for you to follow. Do not break any blocks in the game. Nothing in the game requires a left click from the player, and moss is easy to break, so don't destroy anything. Do not damage any of the Ravagers or Evokers in the game. They both serve a function in the game, and it is difficult for the host to replace them in survival mode if any of them are killed. Do not take any outside items into the game unless you've been allowed by the host. If you don't need game subtitles to play, then don't use game subtitles. There are 2 optional warnings for you to follow while in the game. Be quiet. Crouch along the game to prevent setting off Skull Shriekers. Every time a Skull Shrieker goes off, a meter, called clank, will increase. When you reach the max number of allowed clank, Evokers will spawn Vexes to attack you. You should also be as quick as possible, following your compass directly where it points as long as you can. The other thing, I'm just using this as an instructional tool, but you should not be using any F5 modes. You should always be in first person like this. At the time of this video's recording, the map doesn't do anything, but the compass does. You can feel free to ignore the map for now. Now, you may enter the game. Fall off these blocks, you shouldn't be able to jump up to them. Now that you've jumped off, follow your compass to your artifact. When you find where your compass points to, throw it on the ground. If it's the right spot, an artifact will... Wait, I thought I had, Oops. Sorry. If it's the right spot, an artifact will pop up, will be dispensed from the ground. Your goal is to take your artifact to this door without dying. It is right next to the entrance of the game. When you go through this door, you cannot re-enter the game until it resets. Go down the tunnel, and you will end up in a chamber. If you have to leave the game before you can turn in your artifact, you may use the exit of shame. It is one way. You don't get to keep any materials you brought along with you. But if you do have your artifact, throw your artifact into this specific hole. Wait a few seconds, and your payment for the artifact will shoot up from under the trapdoor, and the door down the hallway will open. Now you may move into the next room. In this room, you can buy cards right here, and you can buy trophies. If a light for a card is on, like this one, you may purchase it, but if the light is off, like this one, you cannot purchase the item. Make sure you only put in the necessary amount of crystals into each barrel. Any unused crystals will not return to you outside of the game. So this one is 6 crystals, so let's make sure that we only put in 6 crystals. After you've made a purchase, the light will turn off. Any excess crystals, like this one, will not leave the game with you. After you've made any purchases you want to, you may move into the next section. There's a chest for you to put any crowns or gold coins collected during the game. Put them in. The crowns will return to you when you exit the game, however the coins will not. After you've emptied your inventory of coins and crowns, go through the iron door to beat the game. When you finish the game, you're going to respawn in this room. You don't need to set your spawn again. Take everything out, including, I guess, whatever items are in that top chest, and then press the wooden button to leave the game. Wait for the door to close, and then make sure that you keep your simulation distance at 12. See? And then wait for the game to be available to play again. Just stand about here. You don't want to leave it. It's rude. You can cause some issues for the host if you leave the area before the game finishes restarting. Um, there's some redstone stuff going on in the background, and leaving before it's done resetting can cause it to break. You will find any purchases you made at the end of your run and any crowns you had in this chest. We bought a moment of clarity down below, and now I have a moment of clarity in this barrel. Your deck will also be returned to you in this barrel. After you exit the game, there's also the crown shop where you can buy for anything with the light on. Just for an example, I'm going to buy a dungeon key. It says 6 crowns. And then we can head over to this end over here, and we can see we get a dungeon key. That's everything for playing the game, but if you are hosting the game, I recommend doing it in creative mode, because it's a lot easier to deal with. You can maintain the game in survival mode, it's possible, but I recommend doing it in creative mode. First of all, you should take this redstone torch from this chest right at spawn. You should not leave it for other players if you're going to be the game host. And then you can enter the game down below. Everything backstage for the game can be accessed through this secret door. And I will just show you where it is. Then it's this second second stone block of stone bricks from the very corner. And you can now enter all of the backstage stuff for the game. And then when you need to close the door when you get in, you can press it, put it in the same spot right there. Let me just show you the pathway to get to the dungeon keys. You're going to open it up, you're going to turn left immediately, and then you're going to head down these stairs. You're going to walk along this glass, and then over here, you can just middle mouse button click to get extra ruins keys, or you can just shift click it. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. By default, each player gets 8 dungeon keys, but if you want to give them more, just take them from here, and if you want to take them away, you can put them back in that chest down there. What that would require you to do is to come through here, and you can put more in, like that, or you can take them away. I'm going to leave it default of 8 for you. You get to pick the number. As host, you are going to be responsible for maintaining the game when it breaks. Hopefully it doesn't happen too much, but let me just show you what can happen. So this first issue happens when when a player's simulation distance is not set to 12 or more, or your server doesn't have a simulation distance of 12 or more. This issue can also be caused by a player pressing the restart button multiple times while in this starting area. If they press this button twice, you can get this issue. But thankfully, it has a pretty easy fix. Just go through the door and walk up all the way along here. Keep going straight until you get over here where the purple line goes over that brown line. Then you're going to walk over here, go to this very last dispenser. What can happen is you might have 2 compasses in this dropper. I'm just going to duplicate and put another compass in for the purpose of tutorial. If it is there, what you can do is you're going to take that compass out, So it's now in my inventory. Then you're going to follow the compass to wherever it leads in the game. So if you head all the way back here, there's just 2 bricks here, and you can get into the game from here. You can find your way to each of the lodestones. See, I think it points to this one. And then there should be a dropper right next to it. Shift click it in. If it stacks with the other compasses, it's the right dropper. If it doesn't stack with the other compasses, it's not the right dropper, and the right dropper is somewhere nearby. But because this is a duplicated compass, I'm going to get rid of it so it doesn't overflow the system. However, in the instance that this dropper has no compass, then what you're going to need to do is follow the brick pathway down, like you're going to exit the backstage area, but what you're actually going to do is you're going to find the sign that says this button, and then click it, and that will send a compass into that dropper. And then if we head here and wait for a little bit, we'll find that at some point a compass will make its way into this dropper. And there the compass is. So that's really the biggest maintenance issue that you can run into is from there. There's some other things here. So one is you want to make sure that this lever is switched off. If this lever is on, no decks will ever be played, and all the decks will just be in this line in these hoppers here, and you can take them out. And as long as you take them out before you turn off this lever, there shouldn't be any issues. Then to leave, you come back to this large stone brick area, follow it along till you get to these stairs that go these stairs that go down. Then you can use your redstone torch. Close it up. There is one more backstage thing I want to show you in case you want to give some starting cards to your players. You're going to go through the secret door here, and then you're going to turn left and go up this set of stairs. And then keep going straight until you get to the end of the line. Then you're going to turn left. You're going to go down these stairs till you get to these stairs that go up to this glass part. Don't go up them. Instead, you're going to turn right and go all the way down. Then down at the bottom here, you'll have all of the cards, a description of what they do, and a barrel full of every single one of the cards. You can take however many cards you want and give them out to every player if you want to, and then you can find your way back up by following the stairs. At the top, turn left, turn right, left again, turn right once more, turn right this last time, and then you're at the end. If you want to get payment from the shops, so this includes the crystal shop down below and the crown shop, it's pretty easy. You're going to go through the secret door. You're going to go to the right, then to the right again. Then you can find the payment for the crown and diamond shop. To get payment from the crystal shop and to get players' items, you can go straight through the door, take a right, come down here, and take a right here. Take one more right, and all the payment from the crystal shop will be in these 2 chests. Then you can take it straight here. Then you can turn right this way in order to get gold that any of the players dropped. So you can see, the gold coins that the players dropped. So you can see, here's some gold coins. Let's put it back. And then if you head this way, you can find a bunch of gold crowns, which are going to be dropped to the players. If the player doesn't submit their artifact, you can collect the items that they dropped from playing the game by coming back to this big section of stairs that comes from just from the secret door. Instead, turn right when you get to the bottom. Keep going straight. Gonna go down here, and then these will be where all the items the player dropped are from. Then, once you're done, you can head back through the secret door, close it up with a redstone torch. Again, this is a lot easier if you use creative mode, still possible in survival mode. I recommend using creative mode and spectator mode because you can fly around and find the different chests, but the choice is up to you. If you are hosting the game, that means you are also responsible for running competitions or short or in-game events. There isn't anything special about these competitions. You just set a timer for a week or so, and whoever has the most trophies at the end of the event wins. There isn't any specific award for winning, but you can assign an award if you want. It could be as simple as a free card, or if just a few diamonds. The awards are up to you. This is all of the info you need to know to run and play the game. I hope all of you have fun playing the Ruins of Ronthmor. For anyone who watched my first video on Ruins of Ronthmor, thank you for sticking it out and waiting to see this video. I appreciate you, and I have some more videos planned very soon. This has been Conductor123, and I will see you next time.